from you. Can I hear from you, Dave?
I'm good to go. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about my Raiders always all day.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Let me hear from you, Cello. Can't hear you, Cello. Oh, you muted.
You
Go
muted.
ahead.
Yay,
Huh?
you muted my mic. Come on, man. Don't do that, man. Y'all try to play games early.
No, 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 no,
Come
no,
on,
no.
man.
I muted you and Mark. I muted you and Mark in the beginning because I was trying to give the guidelines and y'all was still talking. But
Nah,
let me
what's
hear
up,
from you.
fellas? What's
What's
up,
going
fellas?
on here?
It's always blessed to be on here with y'all, man. We gonna have a great time like always.
Yes.
Good to go. Good to go. Let me hear from you, Mark.
What's going on, guys? What's up, fellas?
That's
What
what's
up?
up. That's what's up. Good to see you. Let me hear from you, Big West.
What's going on, gentlemen? Good to be
Oh, that brother
What's
audio
good?
working. Word.
Yeah, it's
Praise
good to
God. You
see
been.
y'all.
Oh, I see.
Good to hear
He got
from
that
y'all.
prayer
Welcome
sweat
to the
on.
tribe. We got a lot to discuss tonight. We're gonna talk about the late great Madden. You know, if we could just take a moment of silence for him, you know what he meant to football, not just to the Raiders, but to football. They even got video games, historic games after him. So we're just gonna take a moment of silence as we do when we lose any great person, you know, for John Madden real quick. Just a quick moment of silence. God bless. All right, fellas, we could dive right in, man. So we got Kyrie. I want to talk about Kyrie. We're gonna talk about what the playoff scenario in the NFL look like. Yeah, man. Let's start there.
Real quick
I'm
with
gonna
the
go
Kyrie
through.
situation. Oh,
Go ahead. I'm listening.
real quick with the Kyrie situation. Um, I finally think the Brooklyn Nets got it right. Like they was trying to follow New York protocols, like the NBA protocols, and you have to. This world is different than what it was 2.5 years ago. But when everybody is going through this pandemic, and you have to do what's best for your team, your organization, your franchise, and the fans, and they're doing what's best for the Brooklyn Nets right now. The Nets are in first place in the Eastern Conference, and I have no problem with them playing him. They should have made the decision earlier. I
Mhm.
believe that he should have not been so arrogant with the situation, but he had to stick by his beliefs. And they're 23-9 in the Eastern Conference right now at first place. With him coming on board, that's a monster. That's a monster that a few teams are not going to be. A few teams are only going to be able to compete against.
Mhm.
The
But
only thing
what?
I don't like about it is New York protocol. With them being in first place, he's going to miss a lot of home playoff games if it keeps going out that way.
Mhm. But what about like, because teammates that's gonna look at him sideways, even though they him. You're right, but I'm sure he's that's gonna look at him sideways because I know they're gonna be like, "Yo, how is he special? He's able to not get vaccinated and still be able to play, and we can't." So I believe some players are gonna look at him as selfish. Still,
Mhm.
even his teammates.
He he only got to worry about three people looking at him sideways. That's
Two.
Harden, Durant. No, three. That's Harden. That's Westbrook, and that's Blake Griffin. Everybody else, they don't have a word to talk about in the Kyrie situation.
That's interesting. You said Harden, Westbrook, and Blake Griffin.
Yes, I say Blake over Aldrich. I say Blake over Harris because if Blake gets sick, especially with his previous injuries and everything, he's gonna turn his head. if he doesn't, it's just a home run and just keep going playing. But Blake has been injured multiple times. Not saying that he's not a health issue, but it's like, hey, what happened? Like, why are we letting this happen? Everybody else, they just have to bite it.
But when you said Westbrook, did you mean KD? Because you
I
said
said
Westbrook.
I meant KD, Harden, and Blake.
Okay.
Those are the only three. Okay. Those are the only three people, and he don't even have to answer to Blake. Really, he just has to answer to KD for real, because that's KD team. That's not Harden team. That's not his team. He only has to answer to KD, and KD already gave his blessings. So I'm thinking,
let me hear from you. But I heard you had something to say on that.
I agree with David. From what I have read, KD had to kind of sign off on it because the way it was going, he was playing way too many minutes, home and away. So the fact that they can get even Kyrie part-time is good for them. I mean, other than KD and Harden, nobody else's opinion matters, even though I'm a huge Blake fan. It's still up for grabs for him being able to, maximize his talents with them because we don't know how good he's gonna be on the road. You know what I'm saying? If he gets into foul trouble quick or whatever, it just all depends on how the Nets decide they're gonna run it. Plus, they got young up and coming talent that they've been putting in the game. Like I just watched the game tonight. They use a lot of their bench now. More than they did the beginning of the season. So they doing good because it's better to have a special top 5 player that'll play for you part time than not even having them at all. So I agree with it. Why not?
And I can see that because I do know that Kevin Durant been logging a lot of minutes, and I know at one point he was playing with a bunch of rookies and young players. So I can see them needing him, and him signing off on it. Lamar, let me hear from you. What's your thoughts on it?
I think what we got going on is an unusual, strange NBA season with all of the players that's out with COVID, people missing time, with injuries, things of that nature. A lot of teams are short-handed. So why not utilize as a player or asset that you have on your team that's just sitting there, you know, and get him going. God forbid they start losing players like everybody else. I think it was a move for the organization because they didn't really need him right now because the Nets are still in first place. They're doing good. But I think it was an organizational move to get Kyrie going because God forbid if they start losing players, they'll have him ready to go and up and running already going on the roster. But I think this was something that they should have did a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like why they do it now instead of making this decision in the beginning of the season. This is where the Nets look a little bit funny as an organization. But other than that, I understand the move in the NBA.
They had to because they had to.
It seems like everybody
because the reason why I say
like
they had to is
pretty
because
much
guess what?
echoing the same thing. But let me ask you this, and I'm gonna go to you, Cello. Is it a win for Kyrie? Do he win overall because he didn't budge? He didn't budge. He stood tall on his belief. He didn't budge, and ultimately the NBA kind of caved, to not the NBA per se,
The
but
Nets.
kind of caved and went back to him. Let me hear from you, Cello.
I think it's bigger than it being a win for him, honestly. Like, just like Lamar said, man, this is a whole different thing going on right now. And I just even think about, the Heat, they have to postpone their game yesterday against the Spurs. They was about to sign a G League player from the Spurs G League team because they ain't have enough players. So
Not
they was
like
gonna
the
sign some. somebody that was on a G League team for the
Don't talk to me
Spurs.
about not having enough players. We was the first team to not have enough players.
No, yeah, y'all was the first one, and honestly, people from Miami, people from Miami was mad that we even played that game against the Bulls because y'all was getting hit with it. Cats wanted to
We
postpone
had
the
7
Bulls game.
people.
Yeah, and look,
Y'all the
the Heat,
catalyst for it, from what I
the
understand.
Heat, the Heat just signed Mario Chalmers from off the street.
Wow.
Mario Chalmers, I wouldn't. Yo, come
So
on, that is crazy. So, but for as far as Kyrie, I think it's bigger than him. This a crazy situation, and it just seems like whoever the team that lasts the best with not having get hit with COVID at the wrong time, that they're gonna benefit from it. So
Whoa.
it's almost like when the playoffs come,
I got you, David. I
are
got you.
are there gonna be players that are gonna get hit with the COVID and then they're not gonna be able to play? Because listen, it'd be like 5 players, 6 players. Miami was doing their best. They was winning games with what they had, but then they came to a point that they ain't had no more players. They couldn't do it no more.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying overall it's a win for the NBA, not specifically Kyrie.
I
It's
don't
a win for the
I don't
NBA.
think it's a win for anybody, honestly. I think it's a
Oh
crazy
wow.
situation going on. Let's be honest, the season is messed up right now. They just trying to not lose money like they did last year, the year before. They trying not to lose that same amount of money like they did before. So they like, listen, we just
So
gonna have to run
maybe
with
they
it,
should
even
go
if
back to the bubble.
listen,
Yep.
they might start letting college players, they might let the high school players go from to the NBA from high school now.
Mm.
We need more
Wow,
Cello,
you saying
players. We
it's
need
that
more
bad?
bodies.
Go ahead, Dave.
Cello,
And
Steven,
and Terrence and Tim, I'm coming to y'all.
Cello, Steven, I disagree with y'all. The NBA has done a job of handling this situation. And it's because they have multiple things that they can reach out to. They can reach out to the big three, which they already did with signing Joe Johnson, which they already did with signing Gary Trent, which they already did with signing Mario Chalmers. They can reach out to overseas, which they're going to bring those players in. They can reach out to their own league. So they are doing the best of saying, let's continue with games. Are they bringing you the best product? No. Are they bringing you a competitive product every night? Yes. So you just have to deal with it because everybody has to deal with it. The world has changed. And the NBA is doing the best job of it. It's other organizations and leagues and associations that's not doing a good job of it.
But
So,
the organization, the team organizations, they don't agree with it.
So
Because
you
how
feel
don't
like
they
the
agree
NBA
with it?
handled it to the best of their ability, David?
How don't they agree with it when the Nets made that decision off of New York protocols and decided New York protocols was not in the best of favor of us and allowed Kyrie to play again? And we all disagreed with how he was handling the situation. Not that he was vaccinated or unvaccinated, but we all agreed with the situation. We thought it was kind of selfish on his part. But right
I don't know
now,
if I said
it's a
that.
win. It's a win-win for the organization and the athlete, regardless of what the athlete chooses, regardless of what the organization originally thought. Let's just try and get games in the win so we can win a championship. You have to do what's best in these times right now.
Well,
Because the organizations,
the Nets
not the
didn't really.
organizations, but the association, the league, are not going to do it for you. They're not going to do it for you. So you have to do that. I'm going to be happy when he gets back on the field. I'm not a Kyrie person fan, but I'm a Kyrie athlete fan. I can't wait till he gets back out on the field, especially for that team sitting at 23-9 in first place.
All right, so we got a comment from the from the chat. But we gonna go to Harrington Tim real quick, and after that, I'll let y'all hear the comment we got going. Well, y'all can see it there. The comment on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence, let me hear from you.
Can y'all hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
heard
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, cool. Well, number one, I'd like to say good evening, everybody.
What's up? Good
Good
evening.
evening, my brother.
How we all doing? David, I represent no matter what the situation is. I don't run from nothing. I'm from the
Start right
hill.
there.
Never run out of from the hill. We don't run, never will. So that's what I'm gonna say right there. As far as far as the Kyrie situation goes, I think it was a win for him. Honestly, bigger more than anything. I think it was a situation to where, from a political standpoint, I think that the Nets took a political standpoint and was pressured by the powers that be, or by their connections to political figures, and made that particular agreement in terms of not allowing him to play when other players were definitely playing without the vaccination. So when you have situations like that, when people are making decisions based upon political as opposed to financially, and then they see now that for them making that particular decision, it could affect them financially. Now, here's the great part to the whole situation. The whole thing is that we all know this thing is not going to stop. We all know that this is going to continue to be a situation for the rest of the year. So why not bring Kyrie back? Why not rest Kevin Durant, even if he doesn't have the COVID, because he's been logging a lot of hours? And why not let him build chemistry with some of the other players that's already there? So when you have a situation, when you get to the playoffs, when you need that playoff run, you now can bring KD back. You now can, flip and flop with Harden or the three of them in the lineup, and just say, okay, whatever. Okay, we got this person this night, whatever. And then come playoff time, now your bench is even deeper because you now go 1 through 12 as opposed to going 1 through 6 or 1 through 7. And a team that can go 1 through 12 come playoff time, whatever, is a very dangerous team. So I think that
But don't you
you
want to
have to
see
do that.
KD and Kyrie together? As you mentioned,
I mean, the
and
thing is,
KD.
honestly speaking, I already know we as fans already know what they're going to do. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever. When you really think about it, the people watch the NBA season. Yes, they do. But I guarantee you, the actual viewership goes up comes crunch time, comes that playoff time, whatever, and coming down to the seeding, whatever, to see where the actual players and things are going to be. So, in my personal opinion, I think that it was definitely a win for him. Because, like I said before, I don't think the decision was made from a business standpoint. I think it was made from a political standpoint. And in addition to that, when you have players still getting sick with the vaccination, what is your argument? Because we can't sit here, whatever, and say
may
that
not,
when you have players, when you have
they may not necessarily, because they still think being vaccinated is the best thing forward. So I'm pretty sure they're not.
That's what they're thinking. But I mean, we all know 1 + 1 = 2. And so, even from a standpoint of, we also have to understand whatever is that, okay, we have to understand logic. If you're in a situation where, okay, I heard what you told me, but if I'm presenting you something different, it's like, okay, when if I was to go outside, whatever, you trust me, Steve, you know me, we have a relationship, you know me, right? And so it's one thing if I tell you something, whatever, but it's a whole nother thing if you see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this is and this was actually happening. People are seeing it for themselves, and they're like, hold up, why are we actually following this? What's the actual point? You know what I mean? Like, these players aren't dumb. These players are actually paying attention to what's going on. And I mean, like I said before, you had other players that were not vaccinated that were continuing to play with no issue at all. So the thing is, whatever, is that you have to reevaluate and recalibrate whatever. And I guess that's one of the reasons why you never say never, you know what I mean? Because you never know what's going to happen. And this was actually I think was the perfect storm for Kyrie. And I honestly think that, I remember we talked about it a few years last year when we talked about this, the year being an asterisk. This may be your asterisk year.
Mm-hmm.
And
David,
That's
David, as
Karen,
we know, disagrees with that. But we're gonna
Karen,
go to the comment, and then I gotta hear from Tim. We got a comment from Dominique Critty. He said, "I don't like it for the Nets. James Harden right now is playing his best ball since joining the Nets. With Kyrie coming back, what does that mean for Harden? Anybody can weigh in on that." Is what he's asking. Let me hear from you on that, Tim. He's saying he don't like it for the Nets because James Harden is playing his best basketball. So he trying to say kind of throws Harden off a little with Kyrie coming back. Let me hear you on that one, Tim. And then I'm gonna come back to you, David.
To me, I believe that that's a true statement from Dominic. James Harden has been playing hard within the last couple of games, and the rotation, in Kyrie's sense, he can get in the rotation with KD and James Harden, or with James Harden with Griffin. He can rotate with them with those other two, and still have a first place um road games, because that's what Kyrie Irving is there for, based on what protocols that they have. Now, when they are at away games, they can use them. When they're at home games, they can't use them. So it can
So
work
you,
both. It can work both ways, and
so
that's a
you
win for
ultimately think it's a win. Okay, okay. Let me hear from you, David. I seen you was on the edge of your seat. You had something.
yes, because people don't value the greatness of James Harden, right? Here go the thing about James Harden. Whenever he feels like stepping on the court, he can be the NBA leading scorer. Whenever he feels like stepping on the court, he can be the NBA leader in assists. Other than defense, he can dominate the NBA in current fashion that it needs to be played. He does not mind playing with Kyrie and KD because he can just be a point guard. He doesn't have to go out there and drop 25 to 37. And I say 37 as a really low mark because those other two are great scorers in themselves. He doesn't have to worry about doing that. He can go
but
out
we
and
act
drop
like
17 assists.
it wouldn't be as. But the
He
thing
doesn't
is
worry
that I
about
think
Irving. He doesn't worry about Kyrie Irving because he can play point guard, shooting guard, small forward, small ball, power forward. He doesn't worry about that.
I
He
think what people
did all
forget is that he's always been that. Besides when he first came into the league, he played on a team whatever that was similar to that. I mean, he played with KD and he played with Westbrook. So I mean, it's not like he's not familiar with that role.
Exactly. So he's not worried about stats. He's not Westbrook. He's not Curry. He's not worried about stats. He knows
no.
he knows he can get his numbers. At this point in his career,
I think I
the only thing he
agree.
cares about is a championship. So he's not worried about playing alongside Kyrie. And he's a
No.
better
I think
ball
I
handler.
agree because ultimately he came to me. I think he came there to win. He achieved the stats and stuff in Houston, so I feel like ultimately he did come there to win,
Right.
and he ultimately
Right.
took on that role as being the primary ball handler, not necessarily being the guy that put up a lot of shots and a lot of points, but running the team from the
Somebody got
ball
to take the
handler.
earpiece off.
I'm sorry.
I said somebody got to take the earpieces off. We're getting muffled.
Yeah. Mark and Lamar, let me hear from y'all, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Go ahead, Al. That's not me, fellas. It's not my earpiece.
Yeah, mine's either. I always have them on. Lamar, can you? I think Lamar's stuck.
Mm. If you notice though, whenever the Nets are down, like if KD goes in the protocol, whenever
In reference to what? What, Steve?
I'm gonna come back to you, Lamar.
Yeah, I know
Mark,
the
Mark
air
is on, but
keeps in.
we still on the Kyrie, and as opposed to how it affects Harden and
I don't have an earpiece
playing situation.
on.
But I'm gonna
Okay.
let Mark finish, and then we gonna come back to you. I'm trying to figure out who that is with sound now. But go ahead, Mark.
Man. What I was saying is, just piggybacking off of what David said, you only really see Harden now. I mean, not Harden. Yeah, James Harden exert himself
Kyrie,
when. Excuse me. No, I'm saying he only
you
really
said
exert himself scoring when he needs to. He doesn't. He's more a facilitator with the Nets. He's not. He's not the primary scorer. But when he's needed to score, like David said, he can change into anything he wants to be, except for a defensive stopper. But other than that, I mean, the way the Nets are built right now, even if they didn't bring Kyrie back, their chances would still be damn good because of the young talent that they got. So I mean, even having him a little bit part time, I don't think that's going to affect Harden's game. I don't think it's going to affect it whether Kyrie's there or not. If anything, you got a better, just as good a score as Kyrie is when Kyrie's not in the game because Harden picks up that slack easily. He did it the other night. I watched him. You know, he can literally do it whenever he feels like it. But with the Nets, you know, he doesn't have to do it as much as he would on other teams because, it scores around him. Patty Mills picks up on that scoring. Cam Thomas picks up on that scoring. Blake picks up on that scoring. A lot of their role players get easy lobs and point blank layups because of him. So what Kyrie might bring to the game, Harden still brings to that game regardless to me. That's just my opinion in watching him. I think
That's 100.
Kyrie,
percent
I think he's just a plus when it comes to their lineup. He's not like, you take LeBron away from the Lakers or you take Joker away from Denver, you're going to have a big space missing. You can actually take a couple of games and we've seen it when KD went in the protocol. Take a couple of games and let Harden just lead the pack. They get it done, and they get it done against good competition. It ain't like they, playing bottom of the
scrap.
barrel when they going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they tough, man.
Yeah.
Real
I think
deep.
I think the thing is, man, is that I think that two things are actually happening, and I think that to a degree, in my opinion, in order for Harden to be considered great, he's going to have to win a chip, whatever, in a different role and show that he can actually change up and be different as opposed to what he was doing before. Like everybody knows he's great and stuff like that, but for him to be in that upper echelon, to be like, okay, he was that dude. He's going to have to contribute different type of ways, and I think he's actually in a perfect position because because you have a Kyrie, because you have a KD, and honestly speaking, whatever, all of these guys got to re-sign next year, whatever. And I think that it's like my man Perkins brought up whatever earlier today that one of the reasons why I think they brought him back is because in order to re-sign KD, in order to re-sign Harden, that they needed to see a commitment from leadership to actually win. Because what's supposed to happen is KD's supposed to sign first, Kyrie's supposed to sign second, and Harden's supposed to sign third, based upon what they were actually saying today. So I think that it was a situation also from the ownership and from the leadership saying that hold up, we do want to win and we got to do some things differently. So like Mark was saying, I think that you have to, he doesn't have to necessarily be the actual main scorer because we've seen him have 13, 14 assists a game. We've seen him do that. We've seen him take care of the ball, whatever. Yes, is he a defensive liability? Yes, he is. But again, there's different type of defenses that you can play to alleviate the liability that he actually has as a defensive player. But the thing is that the one thing that you can't take away from him is the ability to fill it up. He can fill up that stat sheet, whatever, very quick. And I think that Kyrie can do it as well. And so, I mean, with you bringing in someone like him that has been well rested, hasn't played a whole lot of ball this year based upon the situation. And again, you have those young guys around him. Like I said before, that's a recipe for success. If you can keep Kyrie running with those other groups of those young guys, whatever, you now have them develop. and you now go into the playoffs with a team, like I said before, you can go 1 through 12 as opposed to just going 1 through 7.
Yeah. Steve, could I bring something up that was real interesting what Terrence said so I can ask the rest of the fellas real quick? Stevie?
Your mouth moving, Steve, but we can't hear you, B.
He on mute.
You can't hear me?
We can hear you, Mark, but we can't hear Steve.
Okay, fellas, I'm gonna ask you made a great fellas, do you think a lot of people's legacies ride on the Lakers and the unit that they got as it and Melo and AD and LeBron? That's with Kyrie, Harden, Aldridge. Do you think if those teams win a championship, that it's going to affect certain as in the Blake Griffin?
Yeah,
Serious.
I get what you're saying.
Like in other words, given the teams that they built right now, as in the a lot of teams in the that's just an example. So I really believe that team like Blake never gets a ring, or Harden, or Melo never gets a ring, Westbrook never gets a ring. I do think it's going to affect. You can always be, to be considered a ring, you gotta have a chip. So,
Y'all can hear him. Y'all can hear. I can't. Hold on, Mark. Y'all can hear him because I can't hear him good.
Yeah, I can hear Mark.
Mark, you gotta echo.
It's an echo.
So I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you till so you can get your sound right because you got an echo. But let me hear from you, Lamar, concerning what they were just talking about with how Kyrie coming back relates to KD. I mean, KD and James Harden's gameplay. Let me hear from you.
I'm gonna be quick with my answer. Could everyone hear me? Just want to make sure my
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. I think addition of Kyrie is not going to hurt the team. Just look at it like this: the Nets winning the championship is going to come down to Kevin Durant. So as long as they can keep him healthy and limit his minutes, then that's going to be good for the Nets. Now, as far as Kyrie, I don't feel he's necessary for the regular season. I think James Harden is necessary for the regular season to keep the Nets going, to keep the Nets on the right track, to give Durant blow when he needs a rest, maybe him win a game or 2 or 3. But I really think Kyrie is necessary when we get to the playoffs, to close out games, to be that closer alongside Kevin Durant. Not saying Durant needs help in closing games, but I think Kyrie is that he has that dog mentality. When the game is on the line, somebody else you can give the ball to that can close out a game, that can be depended upon to do that, and give Kevin a break or two. Because right now, without Kyrie, when game time, when it's on the line, when it's in the playoff, they're gonna be dependent on Kevin Durant to do everything. And Harden is not that when we're talking about clutch. Kyrie has proven himself to be that dude when we're talking about clutch in a game time situation, especially in the playoffs. So I think he's going to benefit the Nets more in the playoffs, not during the regular season. That's my take on that.
But
has he proven himself with one shot?
Yes.
One shot,
yes.
He's proven himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
one
he
shot.
He
You only got to do it one time.
Yes.
You only got to do it one time.
All you have to do is one shot. That's all you got to do.
Here go the biggest problem.
I think it's
Lamar. I agree with you 100%. But the Nets are
we remember one
number one
shot,
seed,
but
which which means
it more than one
that
time.
Hold on.
yes, but
Go ahead.
the Nets are the #1 seed, which means that they're gonna have more home games
Well, we a game
than
behind them.
away games, which means Kyrie is not gonna be there for those clutch moments. That's the only problem I don't like with this whole situation right now. New York needs to
Don't let
take
them get the
of
Knicks
this
in the first
situation.
round.
Well,
I'm gonna say this. What do you think about the next home games being moved back to Jersey?
I don't
I
know
mean,
Jersey. I don't know
Let's
Jersey
ask Sarah
protocols.
that.
I don't know Jersey protocols. That would be
Nah,
smart.
don't come back to Jersey.
Somebody
Nope.
just mentioned. What if they get the Knicks in the first round? Kyrie plays no games in the playoffs.
That's the reason why I said. That's the reason why I said.
Brooklyn should have never went to
I'm telling you,
the Nets should have never went to
to
Brooklyn.
Jersey.
See,
And that's true too.
Should
But
never
I can
moved
see,
there.
I can
Look
see
what
them
happened.
going back to. I can see them going back to the bubble. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think this is end up going back in the bubble anyway. You heard it here first. I think it's going to end up going back in the bubble.
Hey, if you think about it, it's kind of ingenious by the Nets because if they drop a home game and the series switch back to their opponents and they get the games over, at the opponent, now you get Kyrie. So if you're not perfect at home and you happen to drop a game and it has to switch back to your opponent, you definitely getting Kyrie. As long as you handle your business at home, you good.
They can't afford to do that against Miami or Milwaukee. They can't afford to do that against Miami or Milwaukee.
What I am saying is, if they play the Knicks, they could beat the Knicks. They don't need Kyrie for the Knicks. Milwaukee, I can understand what you're saying, but for the Knicks, they could sweep the Knicks without Kyrie, because they can't even beat Harden without even having
They ain't beating us without Kyrie.
Yeah, like they don't. I just think
You're absolutely right, Steven. Because what y'all got in the backcourt right now, statistically, is unreal. Y'all got two guys averaging 25, 6, and 6 backcourt and Chicago right now. Nobody's ever done that.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
I tell you, fellas, I really think from a business standpoint that if it comes to the fact that if it is a New York one, I would not be surprised, do not be shocked that if they go ahead whatever and pull that New Jersey ticket. I'm telling you.
Keep that over there in Brooklyn. So don't come over here now. Nope. I ain't signing off on it.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's good for them.
It sounds like you need some wine. It sounds like you need some cheese with your wine, baby.
That's good for them. Too bad.
It sounds like you need some cheese with your wine, baby. Come on now.
Nah, listen, hey.
Who he offering cheese to?
I'm offering some cheese to Cello right now. He mad. He big mad.
What? That's a first.
Yeah, I've been mad about that a long time.
No, that's big mad about that. Cello and Terrence.
That's my man, though. That's my man.
I've been mad about that, man. I still mad.
Cello said, grab your hat, grab your coat. Don't come back.
Listen, I'm gonna be mad about that until New Jersey get a team again, man. A pro NBA
All right,
team.
fellas. So we gonna quickly transition into NFL. If you look at the screen, we gonna talk about do a quick rapid review of our teams and what they did this week, and then we're gonna move on to the postseason and who's in and who's out and who's real. Okay, so since he was the first one on, I'm gonna start with my brother Tim Brown about his New York Football Giants.
Our season is like messed up right now, and management is not doing any better. They want to keep Daniel Jones and Joe Judge and get rid of Dave Gettleman. I'm looking forward to see. And why you have that cupcake, David?
He's a
So
jerk.
especially
Tim, real quick. I'm gonna mute everybody. Tim, real quick. You're
He's a
saying
jerk.
you want the Giants to get rid of Daniel Jones and Joe Judge?
I
Just so we
can, we can keep Joe Judge but Daniel Jones.
wow. Okay.
Sound crazy.
That's a first.
That's
That's a
that man's
first.
opinion. He's a guru. Respect his opinion. His opinion is his opinion. He wants
Yes,
Daniel
sir.
Jones gone. You know, respect his opinion.
And the general manager's search. I can look to see Louis Riddick to be the candidate for the general manager spot.
Who you said?
Okay.
Louis
Louis
Riddick.
What's the name
Riddick.
you said, Tim?
Say it again. Tim.
Oh, Lewis. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The same dude they turned down before who asked for the job. But it's okay.
Hmm.
I know the homework. I do my
I
homework.
still say
they're
I,
not the
I
only
I
they're not the
I
only team that turned them down. They're not the only
Nah,
team.
but
Okay, let me
I
hear
like to
from
see
you,
Alonzo
Cello.
Highsmith get that
he
job.
Right
wanted
there,
that
you a
Giants
Giants
job. He
fan.
wanted that Giants job
We gon'
specifically. He applied
we
for
gon' we gonna
turned
stay
him
in.
down.
All right, fellas, we gonna stay in New York. We gonna hear from Cello. Then we gonna move on to that guy with the prop at the bottom of the screen because I know he itching to get in. So let me hear from you,
That's a
Cello.
tasty looking cupcake.
Hold on. First off, who that cupcake for?
You trying to give it for
We
me, but
talking about
I ain't
our
scared.
teams
Hey,
right
listen,
now. We ain't talking
Okay,
about.
ain't
okay.
nobody scared of you.
All right. All right. Listen, this gonna be quick. Dave Gettleman, when he took the job, he
Hmm.
said he was gonna fix the offensive line. He didn't do it.
You're
Another thing he
right.
tried to do. Another thing that Dave Gettleman tried to do that is blowing oil in his face right now. He tried to rebuild the team, but not rebuild the team. He tried to
Hmm.
compete and rebuild at the same time. That's blowing up in his face right now. It did not work. Dave Gettleman is gonna be gone. The only way Joe Judge will not be back is if the new general manager feels he's not the right one for the job. But I feel Joe Judge will be back with Daniel Jones. Dave Gettleman got to go. He should have never tried to rebuild and compete at the same time.
Respect it. I respect it. We gonna go to. I respect your point of view. So the Giants, you pretty much calling the season over. Get them in out of
Told
there.
you I was
Danny
gonna be
Jones
good,
and
man. I told you.
Joe
I
Judge
told you.
good. Okay, okay. Appreciate it. Appreciate you keeping it brief. We gonna go to the guy at the bottom of the screen with the prop. Mark, I'm gonna say you for last because I know you inching to go. We gonna go to you, then we gonna go to Dave, we gonna go to Terrence, then we gonna go to Lamar and you, Mark. Go ahead. Let me hear from you, Dave.
Okay, so before I go on to my cupcake schedule that I was bound to go on anyway, I don't see Terrence in the screen right now. Terrence took a personal bye-bye because he didn't want to hear, here go that cupcake to the Colts. But I'm going to do myself and everybody else that's watched the show a favor and go back to the New York Giants.
No, no,
Stop
no, no,
blaming it
no.
on
Right now
No,
we
you
Judge.
gotta
talk
talk
about
about
just the
your
team.
team.
No,
Stop
right now
blaming
we
it
talk
on.
about team.
You better
Okay,
talk about
so
your
I'll talk
team.
about my team, but we need to go back.
Hmm.
Terrence, here go
We
your
we
cupcake,
we
nice and
will
pretty.
we if we have this, we will. But we gonna talk about our teams right now. But I
Terrence,
just want
here
to
go
say
your
something real
cupcake.
quick based on your prop.
You've reached guru status. Wow.
Prop, but go ahead.
Terrence, here go your cupcake. I'm through with the Broncos. We swept y'all. On to the Colts. We're gonna beat the Colts this Sunday at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna bring on a blue and white cupcake after we beat them 24-17. My team is going to the playoffs. My team is going to the Super Bowl. Jacobs is healthy for the first time, just ran for 129 yards. We have the most complete offense. We have a special defense, and that's all I'm going to say about
it. Thank you for keeping it straight to the point, David. I like that. I like that. Brothers, it's on you, my brother.
You know what? Who cares what David had to
He's
say?
the most entertaining person on the show between him and Mark.
Who cares what David had to say? All I heard was words.
that.
You know
That
what?
orange and blue all day.
You know what, David? You be the old woman in the bag, whatever, that couldn't even walk, and you happy about it. And that's okay.
All right, so let's
see. We are, and I'm gonna say this now.
Y'all technically not out of it.
We're not out of it, but I want us to be out of it though. It's like a horse that got a broken leg. You want to get him to the glue factory real quick. So I honestly speaking, man, I just think that from a coaching standpoint, we need Vic Fangio to either resign or step down and become the defensive coordinator. From an offensive standpoint, we need Pat Shurmur to be gone. We need a quarterback in there. I do believe, in my personal opinion, that he has stunted the growth, whatever, of Andrew Luck. However, Andrew Luck has not made himself any type of consolation by being a bad player as well. Although, again, we are a very, 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 very young team. I believe with a better coach, such like a person like Anthony Lynn, that this team can go very, very far. Right now, we are a team that will probably finish the season at 500 because we'll come out one week and we'll blow a team out, and then next week we'll come out whatever and play below a team that we should have blown out. Case in point, we blow out the Cowboys, dominate from start to finish, come out next week whatever and get smashed by the Eagles. That's a team that's bad coaching. Across the board. You know what I'm saying? That's bad across the board. And to be honest with you, Lamar, y'all shouldn't even been in the game with us, but okay. I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? You got that off. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But we aren't a very good coach. We are a very good coach team. And I think that once we take care of that, whatever, we'll be fine. But kudos to David. I'll take my L. I ain't gonna sit up here, whatever, and run. Kudos to Mark. Kudos to to Lamar for your Eagles, whatever, Giants, whatever. God bless y'all. But in regards to the guys that's still playing, and I mean, even though we still have a shot to make the playoffs, this will be the one and only time that I'll say to you guys, I don't want us to make the playoffs because it'll make it seem like Vic Fangio did something good.
So you want y'all to be out of it because you want him gone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, well, I thank y'all for keeping it brief. Every last one of y'all been brief. It's on you, L. Now, L, mind you, not gonna lie and I'm not coded. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I've been hating on the Eagles very rough. I don't want y'all in the playoffs. I hate the Redskins, but if there's a team in the division I'm rooting against, it's the Eagles. It is not unfounded because remember, y'all let Washington win just to keep us out last year, and y'all leaped us in the draft. But it's not about us, about the Eagles right now. Go ahead.
We did that.
I understand your animosity towards my team. You got a history of doing stuff like that to the Giants. And I ain't even trying to be funny with that. I mean, if you look at it, you got the Deshaun Jackson, second miracle at the Meadowlands. You got Herb Edwards, the first miracle at the Meadowlands. We have a history of doing stuff like that to the Giants. So I'm not even trying to be funny. I understand the hate. That's all I'm saying. As far as my team, I'll keep it brief. We've been under the radar. We've been flying low.
Trash!
And for that, is kind of shaping out the way that I expected things to be around this time of year. If the season ended today,
Hold up.
we will be playing Dallas in the first round. Marks has been paying too much attention on this live chat going back and forth with Cello and his Giants. He needs to be paying attention to teams that he can possibly be facing in the playoffs. And right now, he would be playing the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm not saying that we're all that. We're still trying to find ourselves as a team. Nick Sirianni, in the beginning, he had Jalen Hurts trying to be a pocket passer, throwing the ball 30 times a game and only running the ball about 10 times. And now we've come to a point in time where he is finally utilizing one of the strengths of our team, which is the offensive line. We're running the ball. We've been leading the league in rushing, I think, for about the last 4 weeks. Not leading the league overall, but I mean the last 4 weeks, we've been one of the number one rushing team. And it is the perfect formula for success in the playoffs in this time of the year. So hopefully we can keep this
you believe,
up.
So hold up. You believe that y'all are a threat? You believe y'all are a threat to the Cowboys?
Let him finish. Let him finish. We're going to get to the NFL
Go
playoffs.
All right, my bad.
All of that.
Rep your team, Lamar. Rep your team.
So like I was said, well, before I was so rudely interrupted by my brother there, I believe
Can't be interrupted. The past.
Listen. We got the perfect formula for success. I'm not saying we're the perfect team. Y'all know me. I'm a realist. I'm not saying we gonna go to the Super Bowl. Of course, I'm gonna always be rooting for my team to do that. But what I am saying is that the way we are constructed and the way that we're playing ball right now, we got all the tools to make some noise if we just take care of business this week against Washington. Minnesota's probably going to lose against Green Bay. They're saying the New Orleans Saints are still in it if they win, but I don't think they're going to win their game against Carolina. And if we take care of business, basically, we'll be in it. So, Dallas, looking forward to meeting you in the first round.
What a big difference offensive line makes, right, Al?
Keeping it brief.
What a big difference offensive line makes.
Cello. But Mark, it's your time now, my brother. We're going to give you your moment to talk about what your team did. And immediately after, we'll go right
Green
into
Bay's
the
in first.
And talk about who's in there and who's still in contention and who's not, and who's real and who that's in contention. But right now, we're going to give you the floor, Mark. Your team this week.
Well, I'm going to start off by saying, first and foremost, nobody, and when I say nobody wants to see us right now. I don't care what your squad doing. I don't care who you got at quarterback. I could really care less if we playing you at home or away. So I'm going to keep it 100%. I'm going to make it real short and real sweet. We done already swept the Giants. We've been beating the Giants like that for years. But this year, matter of fact, let me go last year real quick, Stevie, if you don't mind.
No, this year.
No, because I got to lead up into this year because in order for you to understand what I'm talking, so you don't think I'm talking crazy, I understand that last year my quarterback wasn't there. And it was all fun and games and laughing and joking and everything was funny. Now Dak Prescott is back. Hold on. Dak Prescott is back. And now all of a sudden, my defense is at 100%. And all of a sudden, my whole team is at 100%. The same Philadelphia Eagles that we beat this first time we met y'all, will be the exact same squad we'll play the next time we play y'all. So actually, I hope we get to see you at the end of the year to beat you and then knock you out the playoffs for the 3 sweep. As for going into the playoffs, and I'm going to be dead honest with you, for me personally, it's Super Bowl, period. Ain't no more Super Bowl and bust. My coach already announced that it's playoff time from here on out. So we on a different schedule. We on a different league. We looking at the prize. We ain't looking behind us. We got one
None of
goal.
this.
One goal. And that one goal is to win the Super Bowl. The difference between me saying we're going to win the Super Bowl and my coach saying we're going to win the Super Bowl is that it's preparation. I cannot wait until we play the Cardinals this week and dismantle them. So that way, when I come on the show next week, I won't have to hear anything about Kyler Murray because we remember him saying that the Cowboys was ass. Just to let you know, when he said this back in last November, if you look it up, I don't do y'all homework, but I'm a Cowboy fan. I know what he says. It's already bulletin board material in Dallas land when he was interviewed. He said the Cowboys was ass. So we're gonna let him have that. That streak he got 7-0 at Texas Stadium, that'll be broke on Sunday. So after this week, we punish them to come on the show and get the proper respect as the number 2 seed and the second or first best team in the NFL. So, I mean, I can sit and keep on bragging, but you already see what's going on. You don't want your quarterback getting back there in 3rd and long because if you do, you're going to get a bunch of wolves at him. You're going to get the pride with the big lion at him. So, I mean, it's easy for me to say and keep going on and on, but in all actuality, it's okay. I do the Groundhog Day. You know what Groundhog Day means? I've been Groundhogging Day since the day Steve and David and Lamar met me. I've always said we win. Have you ever heard me say that I'm ever going to lose? Never. So that's right. Groundhog Day, ever since this going on 30 years, they've been hearing me say we're going to win. And guess what? 90% of the time we do. So I can sit here and take it. But I think the Eagles are a year away from being strong. I think the Giants got maybe 2 years if they get their organization right into being strong. I think Washington is on the cusp of being strong, but they need a quarterback and 2 sound safeties, but the D-line is good and they can keep them. But what I want to ask you guys, everybody in the NFC East, other than the Giants, have an opportunity to get into the playoffs one way or another. So while everyone's saying the NFC East is the least likely division in the league to begin wins, it always seems like we got 3 teams right in the hunt to get into the playoffs.
No.
So what I'm saying, this time next year, I'll have at least 3 legitimate teams from my division going into the playoffs. Watch.
No. I can't.
Hold on. Because now it's my turn to get my
Philly got a chance to get in. That's a fact.
I know tonight, moderator, but it's my turn to give my review for my team. So I don't like how my organization is going, and I actually like Joe Judge. Thank you, Mark, by the way, for your review. I like Joe Judge, but however, I don't think it's in the Giants' best interest to bring him back as the head coach, which I know they are going to because I already said it. But I personally don't think it's in their best interest to bring him back only because I don't see the adjustment, And I do agree with Cello on the sense that if the GM comes in, but also the Mara got to be willing to give him that power and say my own coaching staff. That's what I want to happen. I don't want to give up on Daniel Jones because he was hurt. But at the same time, can't keep getting hurt, So I'm not happy with organization right now. I feel like we had a lot of injuries, but there was no adjustments for me. There was no adjustments to the running game. There was no adjustments to, if you saying we're not good at running, but you want to throw the ball. So if you're not good at running, what makes you think you're going to be good to throw the ball? So
offensive line.
I don't like what's going on with our team right now, and I just think we need a fresh start. But I really
can't run with that offensive line.
So
I don't know, because your backup running back averaging.
I didn't interrupt anybody. But we're gonna jump into the playoffs right now. No, I actually was ended it because y'all was jumping in, but we
My
gonna be
bad.
jumping to stuff right now because we
Apologize.
on the 1 hour mark. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and read it off. The teams that are in contention and the teams that are out. You know.
Well, it's actually one team that's in. Everybody else is on the cusp. That's a fact.
Oh, you're talking about that's on the show.
No,
Yes.
on the show right now, it's only one team that's in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got my feet up on the
Yeah, yeah.
couch and I got a soda in my hand, waiting on everybody else to join the party.
Hey! You ain't got to kick the
Hey
rest of us
Mark,
in the
you
face like that, brother.
hey Mark, you paying David over there? Cause that cat been hyping you, man. He been your hype man tonight.
No,
No,
they
no.
don't.
Well,
Not at
No,
all.
no,
Diddy, you
no.
did.
David don't like the Cowboys. He crazy.
He like him to
I
nut.
don't know if I agree with
Nah,
that, bro.
he
But
keep
he,
it
Let me
100. That's has to keep it
Cello.
100.
Cello, let me explain something. If you ain't the NFC West, I could care less what you're doing. Those are the only 4 teams I care about in football.
You care
Because
about the
when they
Giants, I tell
succeed,
you.
we succeed. Because when they succeed, we succeed, and we all better. I don't care about the NFC East. I don't care about the NFC West. I don't care about the NFC South, Central, all those. NFC, AFC West, nobody else. I will give teams their due respect. And right now, the Cowboys deserve their due respect. They
I
have
give him that.
two, they have two
I give him that.
defensive players that
That's
are
because y'all
battling
not in the
for
NFC East.
defensive MVP. They
No, I'm
have
not
a
talking about.
running game clockwork. They
I'm
have
not talking
3
about.
receivers.
I'm not talking about his assessment. I'm gonna say this one thing. What I'll say about Dave, whatever, is that Dave will give you your props. So continue, my brother. You got that.
Yeah. I'm
It's nothing wrong with keeping it 100,
let,
David. It's just when you denial of what your eyes see and you doubt what your eyes see, what
What my
happens
eyes
is you
see
get
every
blown
year.
out. You get blown out. That's what happened to him twice. That's what happened to Lamar. That's what happened to the
My
Redskins
bad,
twice. You
Steve. My
get
bad,
blown
Steve.
out. So the
yeah.
more you doubt and the more you say, oh, the Cowboys ain't that good, by the time that 40 is dropped on you and that 50, now you ain't got no conversation because it's too late. It's too late.
Oh no,
And
it's
yeah,
gonna
I'm sorry,
happen.
real quick,
It just ain't
Lamar.
happened yet.
I will say, Lamar, what we dropped 40 on you at home. Stop it, dog. We dropped 40 at you at home, and then y'all ain't score over 6 points on us, 9 points. Lamar will say though, y'all up and coming, and do I take you as a cupcake? No. Matter of fact, going off of what Dave said, when the NFC East, all of the teams are good, it's the best division in National Football League, hands down.
when
Second best
David
to
said that, I knew
second best to the
you were
AFC
gonna go
West.
Every
there,
team
Mark.
in my division got a Super Bowl. You can't say that about yours. Every team in my division got Super Bowl. Every
He
single
right
one of them
about
from
that.
top to bottom.
Woo!
Three
Don't
of the
do it.
four teams in my three of the 4 teams in my conference has 3 Super Bowls.
That's
Don't cut
3
that
to
out.
4. You
Cut that
still
out.
got one that don't have one. I got 5. The Giants got 3. Philly got. I think the Redskins might even
Denver
have
got
3.
3.
I don't know.
Denver got 3. Kansas City got 3. We got 3. Cut that out. Denver has
Giants,
been
y'all
to
got
6
4.
Super Bowls. We've been
Oh,
to
I'm
5
We
sorry.
Super
got
Giants
Bowls.
got
4.
The Chiefs have
4.
been to 5 Super
Giants
We
Bowls.
got
got 4.
4.
Giants
Cut that
got
out.
4. Washington got
We beat
3.
we beat
Dallas got
Denver.
5, and
Don't
We
Houston
beat
got 4.
do that.
Buffalo.
Don't do that. Philly got one.
Doing over there, Tim? Don't wear on the hill like you
Denver has
beat
been to
Denver. Go on, sit
6
down
Super
And we
somewhere,
Bowls.
beat
man.
the
We've been
Patriots
to
twice.
5 Super Bowls, and the Kansas City Chiefs have been to 5 Super Bowls. Cut that out. Cut that. We are the best division in
Only
football,
thing
period.
We're the
We
best
are
division
our
in
the
division
SEC.
football.
had a
We
team
are
that beat the
the
under.
SEC of football.
Hey,
Don't do
Cello,
that.
I'm gonna go
That's why them
off
Yeah,
for
we
haters
the
on
you.
best.
my
We the best
team
division
Our
like
for
to
division
melt
sure.
the
is the
dog.
only team that beat an undefeated team going into the Super Bowl and was like 12-point underdogs. The
Mark,
NFC East is the best division in
And
football.
the
Mark,
history with the
the
NFC
No
AFC
East,
doubt.
that's
West
another
is
thing.
the SEC of Super Bowl. When we don't win the Super Bowl, nobody freaking watch. When we
But
not in
but you
the Super Bowl, nobody watch.
but you gotta also
Cut it
think
out.
about
I'm
the
gonna
The
just say
history of the
AFC
this.
West is
NFC
the best
East.
football
I'm
and the
gonna
best
just say
The
this.
conference
So
NFC East,
in
We
the
we
the
are.
NFL.
We the
NFC
best. We the
East is
best.
the
NFL has more
rating machine.
That
in
And the
NFC East, the NFC East is the rating machine. Period.
Let
Between
me
the
explain.
Cowboys
Why?
and the Giants,
Because you're in the
Philly
bigger
and
has
market.
more
Washington,
has
there's
more
no other
Super
conference
Bowls
that
than
even
the
comes
Because you're in the
close.
bigger market,
Mark,
though. You're in the bigger market.
Mark, let me
Hold on, Mark.
explain something to you.
Mark,
Let me explain something
Mark,
to y'all. You are
David,
the ACC. You
David,
sitting here,
David,
Florida, your clips, your little everybody once in a year.
You
David,
sound
The AFC West
no
always
way,
has a
no
powerhouse
way.
Mark,
going for the ball. Cut it out.
Y'all, no way,
David,
no way,
David.
Hold
Hold
up,
on,
no
Dave.
Mark.
I
way,
mean, I
Cut it
hold up,
out.
Mark. I know you ain't gonna disrespect us like
Terrence,
that,
hold
brother.
on, Terrence,
Cut it
Terrence,
out.
hold
no
on.
That's
way,
why the NFC
Hold
East
on,
no
hold on,
way.
hold on, hold
fight
on, hold
against
on.
each other.
I
The
don't want to
AFC
mute
West
you.
don't fight against each other. I
Let
don't
me
fight
NFC
ask
against
East
you.
is a monster.
Denver unless I'm
Because
playing them.
it's
I don't city
man,
unless I'm playing them.
it's a
Listen,
lot of
Hold up,
pride.
hold up,
It's a
hold
lot
up,
of
hold up,
pride in
hold
the
up,
NFC
hold up,
East,
Dave. Hold
man.
up, Dave. Hold up,
I
Dave.
A
I
got
gotta
lot
say
of
this.
pride in the
y'all
What's
NFC
the
cats because I'm
record?
East.
trying to talk and y'all ain't listening.
What's the record of the AFC
Listen,
West
I'm
against
gonna
the
mute you
NFC
too,
this year?
Terrence. Listen,
What's the
We
listen,
are
record this year?
we 2-2 against them.
listen.
You're 4-1 against them.
Steve,
Kansas
Hold
Steve
on,
City
talking.
is
Dave.
four and
Hold on,
zero
Go.
against
David.
You
them.
Steve.
talking about the
Steve asking the
NFC in
Hold
a
question.
on,
bad
Steve trying to say
year.
something.
NFC East been on the
Hold on, Mark.
downside for the last 3 years. When the
All right.
NFC East is
Hold on, the
Yo,
host.
the Giants and the Cowboys got more Super Bowls, got the same amount of Super Bowls as your whole division, David.
Wow.
What that
That's all I
mean?
wanted to say.
Wow.
Hold up. What's the
Mm-hmm.
That's all I
record of
wanted to
y'all
say.
teams against our teams
We
this
ain't
year?
even adding the Reds to the Eagles.
no.
Hold
Right.
up. What's the record against y'all team with y'all team against us this year?
This year.
But I
Oh,
thought we
this
was talking
year,
about
Not good.
the whole entire
oh,
history.
and two. Matter
I
of
thought we was
fact,
talking about the history. Well, the
yeah,
Giants
We
we
ain't
beat the
talking
talking
about
Raiders
about
this
no.
year.
What you said the best division this
yeah,
year.
yes. No,
What's
I
y'all
said
record this
No,
year?
we
period.
talking all time,
He
Terrence.
said he
No,
said
we
We talking
talking
history.
all
all
History.
time. We talk about
All
Historically.
history,
time,
General,
all time.
no, we talking
historically.
all
Historically.
time.
we still better than y'all.
No way. Even the
No,
Nah,
it's
Giants.
not.
Matter of fact, I go as far as to say
we really
every team that won a Super Bowl within the
hold on. If
NFC
you
was
really
an
want to be real,
all-time great team. The Redskins, all-time great team.
We beat the
Giants,
Redskins in the
all-time
Super
The
great
Bowl.
history,
team.
We beat the
the
Cowboys,
Eagles in the
history,
Super
all-time
man.
Bowl.
great
I don't want to
team.
hear that.
hold
I don't
up.
want to hear
If
The
that
you
crap.
really want
history
to
of
You
the
be
not gonna
NFC
sit here and
East is
lie to
real,
me
crazy.
when
the Giants,
I know for
Y'all
a
not
fact
even close,
we beat the
man.
Super Bowl. We beat the Washington Redskins in the Super
the
Bowl.
Giants
Do
and the
not feed me that
Patriots are
crap. And we're
tied for the
gonna beat
most
y'all in the Super
championships.
Bowl
If you
this
really
year.
want to be real,
Don't
if
feed
we
me that
really
crap.
talking all time,
Yep.
now look that up.
The
Yeah,
Giants
Look
and the
yeah,
that up.
Patriots.
If you really want
yeah.
to be real, the
Patriots,
Giants and the
the
Patriots is
Patriots,
tied for
two
the most
times. Remember
championships.
that. See, Cello, I can ride with you when we together. Patriots,
And
Yeah.
I'm
two
gonna give
times.
y'all. I'm gonna give
But
y'all
God,
NFC
Two,
East cat. Go to
but
Chris Tucker.
yeah.
But here go the thing. Here go the thing. The NFC East don't ride together. The NFC West ride together. I ain't got no problems with the
No, the
Broncos.
NFC East
I ain't
ride
got no
Yo,
together when
problems
it
with the
come
we
to
Chiefs.
ride
eat.
I
When
ain't
it
together.
got no
come to
problems with the
this,
We don't
Chargers.
like each other,
We the
but we ride
SFC.
together.
You hear that
all right,
well.
let me
Hey,
We
real.
don't
we
like
ride
each other, but
together.
we ride
So
together.
real.
We
we ride
We
together
We
right
boys.
here.
got Dallas
We
and
not
Eagles
bad boys, so
trading
we not
draft
talking about
picks.
riding together.
Man, yeah, stuff going on in the
Yo, let's
draft. That
get
joint is
Yeah,
crazy.
okay. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs. I'm gonna run down who's in contention and who's out of contention, and I want to know from everybody who's real, who they
Mm-hmm.
think is real, and who's not real. So obviously the Chiefs is in the first slot. We going AFC. The
Real as a
Titans,
mug.
the Bengals, the Bills, the Colts, Patriots, the Dolphins, and on the bubble is the Chargers, the Raiders in the ninth spot, the Ravens in the 10th, and the Steelers in the 11th. Um, the Broncos and the Browns are still in it at the
Fake.
12th and the 13th.
Fake. We
And
fake.
those that are eliminated in the AFC is the Jaguars, the Texans, and that's it.
the
And the
Jets.
Jets. Jaguars, Jets, and the Texans are eliminated. In the NFC, the teams that's in contention, we got the Packers in the one spot, the Cowboys in the two,
Mm-hmm.
the Rams in the three, the Buccaneers in the fourth. Fifth is the Cardinals. The 49ers are in the hunt in the sixth spot. The Eagles in the
Fake.
hunt in the seventh. On the bubble, we got the Vikings, the Falcons, the Saints in the 10th. Football 4 team in 11th spot and eliminated from contention is the Detroit Lions, my Giants, the Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears, and the Carolina Panthers.
Fake,
So,
fake, 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 fake.
I'm gonna go to Lamar. Who's real? Who would you like to see, other than your team? Obviously, you're gonna see who you like to see. Who's real, and who you expect not to much longer, not to even really make the playoffs.
All right. In the AFC, right now the way they're playing, I know this may seem like a bandwagon pick to jump on,
Oh Lord,
but the
here we go.
Kansas City Chiefs,
Oh,
the Kansas Chiefs are definitely contenders and a real team that you need to worry about in that division. And a surprise team I think we need to pay attention to. And y'all may not agree with this, but I think this team is actually hot right.
What was your second team, dude? I can't even hear your second team.
Who's the surprise? Who's the surprise, Lamar?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm not worried about the Bengals.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not worried about the Bengals.
Okay. 1 second, Lamar, because I do remember having a show, and I said on the show, this was when it was like the 6th or 7th week, because I remember Trey saying he's not going to argue with a team that's 1-5 and he 5-1, and I want to say Kansas City was either 1-5 or 2-4, and I said on the show, I said, so y'all don't think Kansas City can turn their team around? And I remember somebody specifically saying, "Oh no, they on a high. They not. It's over for them." Okay, David is owning up to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lamar. I just want to remember. Go ahead, Lamar. Just want
in the
to be reminded of that.
In the NFC, I think the team that's making the most noise and are definitely contenders is the Green Bay Packers. Okay. And I think the team that you need to watch out for, who's also contender, and it really hurts me to say, but because of the realness that is in me when it comes to football, I can't help but keep it real. I have to say the Dallas Cowboys are the two teams that you really need to be serious about in the NFC. Okay? So with that, of course, I'm rooting for my boys. I want them to get in. But with football, my fam is strong. Of course, I'm going to be rooting hard for them once we get in. But those are the two teams that I think are the most serious right now. That's Dallas and Green Bay.
Y'all will be home for Christmas this year, bro. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
All right, so
misery loves company.
If you talking to Terrence, y'all still technically in it. I'm gonna go ahead to you and then to David, cause we gonna deal with the teams that's in contention first. So guys, who do you think that's real? You need me to run the teams down again?
No, I got you. No, I got you. I think KC is real. I've always said KC was going to turn it around, and I felt like they were going to be able to do something special. In terms of the team, I really do think, to be honest with you, I really do think that Bengals team, whatever, can be a very scary team. I think that the Chargers, whatever, depending on what they do at times, whatever. And I'll be honest with you, whatever. I think that two teams have found something, and I hate to say it, especially with one of the teams, but I think that New England's found something. I think they've actually found something to actually help them be successful, man. I think if they stick to it, they can be a thorn in the side for a few teams. I also think that with Miami is doing whatever, they've actually picked themselves off the floor or whatever, and actually have been able to do some things as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if these guys end up, doing a few things, because these teams, whatever, have shown themselves to be very improved, and whatever they do well, they have tried to perfect it and do that the entire time. I mean, like, when you look at the defense of the Saints, whatever, I mean, they had some players that were out, but their starters were pretty much in there. And Miami went toe to toe, blow for blow. For the most part, with Tua, who I go on record as saying what I thought he was overrated, but he's actually proved some things, whatever, up until this point, from an AFC standpoint. I think your NFC is your usual suspects, usual players, Cowboys, Green Bay. However, I will say this in regards to Green Bay. I do not think Green Bay will go all the way. I think Green Bay will probably make the playoffs and then get knocked out first round, simply based upon the controversy that surrounds the quarterback. You know what I mean? I do not think that with what's surrounding them at this moment in time, I think that Aaron Rodgers, whatever, is pretty much done. I think that he's going to get up out of there, whatever, and, probably end up playing with us. But I do think he's up out of there for sure. I think a pretender. Let me see, man. Let me think about this. The pretenders. I'll be honest with you, man. I just got to go and hit my man with a jab. I think Lamar. I think y'all the pretenders, man. I'm sorry. I think y'all the pretenders, and the reason why I say that is because when I look at your team from top to bottom, yes, you guys have a pretty good defensive line. I think you guys have a good. In my personal opinion, the best thing that you guys have is a good defensive line and even better. I think you guys have a good offensive line and an even better defensive line, I should say. I think you guys have some things that you can do. I think that once teams figure out a little bit more of Jalen Hurts' situation, I think that will kind of hurt you guys. I don't think your running backs, whatever, are that great. I think you guys have running backs that are okay. But I think that, I just think that you guys are opportunities. That's no disrespect to your team, whatever, but I just, from what I've been seeing and from what I've been watching, whatever, this is not the Eagles team that won the championship a few years ago when I went to actually see them in person to see whether it was real or not. So in my personal opinion, I think that those guys are the pretenders. But I think that it would not shock me that if the Packers got knocked out in the first round, and I think Arizona is going to be a very strong team as well. I'm gonna be honest with you too, Mark. Whatever. I don't know if y'all gonna make it out the second round either, though. I think that your defense, whatever, is really good, but I'm waiting on you guys to fall. Because in my personal opinion, I think our running game, whatever, is still suspect.
I don't see it as shot fired. I see it as him just keeping it 100 how he feels. I get it. Could I go? I would like to not be mad.
We gonna go to David, then we gonna go to you, Mark.
All right.
Okay. So
go ahead,
I'm gonna get to meat and potatoes. I'm eating potatoes real quick. In the AFC, there's only 3 teams. It's us, Buffalo, Kansas City. Everybody else kick rocks. I'm not worried about the Bengals. I'm not worried about the Titans. I'm not worried about none of them. I'm hoping the Titans knock out the Kansas City Chiefs because I'm a little worried of the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to move over to the NFC, right? Terrence just said, the Eagles have a front 7 on offense, a front 7 on defense. That's all you need to carry you into a Super Bowl. The Eagles line is getting better. The Eagles with Hargrove and Cox is bringing havoc on people. I see the Eagles going to the NFC Championship. I want Dallas to go to the Super Bowl so we can have this big old party in Norfolk, Virginia when we embarrass them on February 13th. And I believe they have the tools to do it. Arizona is a sleeper team. Green Bay might be in the NFC Championship again, but Aaron Rodgers has already packed his bags and went to Denver. Like,
wait. Hal, you just said Dallas and Philly in the NFC Championship. You just said Dallas and Philly in the NFC Championship.
No, all depends on the seeding. Philly has the tools on their front 7, offensively and defensively, to go. Mal Sanders is hurt, so that might be an issue. But Jordan Howard and the running game, and they got big hog mollies up front. I just watched them play against y'all, and they ran to Lane Thomas' side, and I was mad because nobody changes up the philosophy. They ran to the right side of the field 13 times in a row because that's their strength, and let's just stick with it. And it was mind-boggling that nobody corrected and seen that deficiency. And they have an offensive line. It might just be the right side of the line with Kelsey. I don't know who the guard is, and Lane Johnson over there, but it's the best right side of the line in football, obviously, because they just proved it against y'all. They're going to be Green Bay. I already think Aaron Rodgers has packed his bags. He doesn't care.
He checked out.
Yes. Aaron Rodgers is checked out. He's already in Denver. And Denver was smart because they signed or extended all those wide receivers, plus they tight end, they 2 tight ends, because Denver has 2 good tight ends. They got them for the long road. He's already packed out. He's not worried about winning the Super Bowl in Green Bay. So that brings me to Dallas and Philly. Arizona is a pretender. The 49ers is a pretender. I'm sorry. The 49ers punch you in the mouth, but when you punch them in the mouth, they stop. And they got Mr. Glass starting quarterback. So I've been saying this for the last 3 weeks. Raiders, Dallas, Super Bowl. Let's get there. Let's get there. Sorry, Philly. I know y'all going to be good, but y'all going to make the playoffs. Raiders, Dallas, Super Bowl. Let's get there.
Thank you for your assessment, David. I big him.
I'm gonna go with the pretenders first, and I don't mean any disrespect by that, and I do agree with you, T. Y'all not in the position to be able to carry on, so it is best for y'all to just chalk it up and go in the next year. Miami, chalk it up going in the next year. My 3 top picks is I haven't heard anybody mention them. The Colts, number 1.
Okay.
Number 1 is the Colts because I believe the last 5 games of the season will always dictate how you go into the playoffs. Especially if you ain't seeded, you got to play. Wait, let me finish. Especially when you're not. Now you made me lose my chain of thought.
Mark,
I need 5 seconds. I ain't in the rap, though.
Let him get his off. Let him get his off.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, when you're not seeded and you're going into the playoffs and you carrying the momentum will give you a better chance than if you're coming off a law. And I like the way the Colts have been playing. I like the way the Bengals have been playing, and nobody's mentioning them. And I said this is my Super Bowl pick. The Buffalo Bills are dangerous. So all 3 of those teams to me are my 3 AFC teams. And the NFC, I mean, y'all counting Green Bay out. I never count Green Bay out because I'm a Cowboy fan. But I do believe that Rodgers won't be there next year because of circumstances under control. I think the Niners are pretenders. I think Philly is a contender. I just realized because I do my homework, they signed Kerryon Johnson, former Detroit Lion, going to help bolster their running game. Because I think he's a better than Sanders. Personally, he's more of an every down back. If their receivers hold up and they get out the first round, what nobody is saying about Philly is if you give Philly a fighting chance to get in there, they normally kind of take advantage of it. So I'm not sleeping on them. Cowboys, of course, I'm going to always put my boys up there, of course, given the record and given what's going on, But on the third pick, I just don't like the Niners because I just think the Niners, when you punch them in their face, like you said, Terrence, they soft. So they just soft. They don't have no hard backbone. It ain't, trying to diss them or nothing. This is just the honest truth. But for my third, I've been kind of fighting between the Cardinals and I like Minnesota, man. I just think Minnesota is if they can sneak in there, they got all of the tools to be able to to be productive, man. I like offense and defense. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe just because you're not the top three playoff seeding spot that you can't go on the road and win big games. Because I believe that Philly can go to Green Bay and beat Green Bay. That's just my opinion. Do I think Philly can go to Dallas and beat Dallas? Only just because it's a rivalry game and we know them so well. It might be a little bit tougher for them. Would they be able to do it? Anybody can lose any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see. I just don't see Green Bay and just being the toughest team. Like to me, the Rams are fraudulent. That's just my opinion. You know, I think they built just like the Niners. They're extremely soft. You punch them in their face, and all that high point scoring goes out the window. You know, and you can run on them. So if they ever see Philly, they're gonna get rained down on. So it's a lot of interchangeable parts depending on the seeding, like you said, David. That's gonna determine if dudes is gonna move on or if dudes is gonna catch an upset. Just my opinion.
So nobody have the Super Bowl champions?
Nah, New England ain't going nowhere.
No,
It's about
no.
Tampa Bay.
Whoa, Tampa.
Nobody mentioned Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay ain't going nowhere. Nobody worried about
See, no,
Tampa Bay.
Steven, I'm sorry, all of y'all.
Yo,
Like,
Real quick, David, real
I
quick,
just
because I
said
gotta
that
let
Mark
hello,
can I go?
Timmy, and the brother at the bottom of the
I
screen.
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
go.
I need 30 seconds and I'll shut up. What I just said and Mark just said is the absolute truth. Teams in the NFC, if you punch them in the mouth and punch them in the mouth,
Now
they're
one
gonna
no more.
stop. They're
One no
gonna
more.
stop. Teams in the West, it's only 3 teams in the West. And that's it.
Can I go?
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'm
Cello.
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Good,
Mark
Cello.
said what I was saying.
Go, and then Timmy, you get ready, and then the brother, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, at the
I,
bottom of the screen. After Cello and Timmy, then you go.
I think the AFC is tricky. I think a lot of teams in the AFC has been a surprise. As far as a contender, definitely. I think the Chiefs doing their thing, especially with that defense. Shout out to Steve Spagnuolo. He still got it. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the Chiefs last games, they holding teams to 10 points. I mean, when they played the Chargers, it was 20. They had 28. The Chargers, Raiders 9 points, Broncos 9 points, Cowboys 9 points. Like these cats are playing D too. So I definitely believe that the Chiefs are contenders. As far as pretenders in the West, Davis said to me on Sunday that their offensive line is worse than the Giants' offensive line. So if your offensive line is worse than the Giants' offensive line, you ain't going to the Super Bowl and you a pretender. If your offensive line is that bad and you think you're going to go far, nah. So I think the Raiders are pretenders is on the strength that he said that to me on Sunday. Now,
Did
as
say
far as
that.
the NFC, as far as the NFC, I think the Packers are a real deal. I don't believe all that distraction stuff with Aaron Rodgers. The dude's still balling. He ain't gonna lose on purpose. His teammates still love him. You know what I'm saying? They know that other stuff is whatever that is. So they balling. Listen, you got to remember they number one with all. If you want to say if there's distractions, Green Bay Packers is number one in the NFC. Are they number one in the whole NFL? Are the Packers number one in the whole
No, I
NFL?
don't think they're number one in the
Yes, they are.
whole
They
NFL.
12, they 12 and 3.
They 12. Ruben said they number one in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole NFL.
They
Well,
record, by
anyway,
their record, yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah,
number
they
one in
are.
the
They
whole
12
NFL
and
by
3.
their
They
record.
12 and 3.
They are.
So I definitely
They are.
believe
They
that
are
they're
because the Chiefs is 11 and 4. I thought they were 12 and 3 too.
yeah.
But go
So I'm
ahead.
like, listen, them cats number one. As far as pretenders in the NFC, oh man, nah. I'm looking at No, the Dallas Cowboys, because they ain't been to the Super Bowl since 1996. It's gonna be Groundhog Day, so best believe it's gonna happen again. So they pretenders, y'all already know what it did.
I knew he was going to say that.
And I'm done.
All right, so real quick, Timmy, before you go, I just want to highlight something real quick. Mike was on the chat, and in regards to what David, Terrence, and Mark had to say about them being soft and you could punch them in the mouth and they won't respond. He said, really, bro? Glad this show was recorded.
So then we don't care nothing about what he's talking about. He ain't on here.
In other words,
not only do we not care, nobody didn't speak non-truth. Everybody know they soft. Nobody on this panel respect the 90 except for Mike.
By the way, I'm gonna let you go, Timmy. But before I do that, and by the way, Mark, he said the Niners want the Cowboys in the first round. But go ahead,
tell him that's the same thing. That's the same thing Washington said. Tell him to keep asking for that. Good.
Let me say something. Let me say something.
Hold on. We gotta go to Tim. We gotta give him his moment like we did it up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
All right.
Go ahead, Tim Dog.
Now I'm gonna switch the pretenders clause from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Raiders.
Oh shoot.
Whoa.
The reason why in the AFC
the Raiders are pretenders or contenders? You saying
pretenders?
Contenders? Pretenders. Okay.
No, pretenders. That's why I took Kansas City away, that title away from Kansas City. The reason why Kansas City
was pretenders.
What was that?
Go ahead. I don't think nobody said they pretenders, but go ahead.
It was said weeks prior that Kansas City was pretenders. That's why he said that.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I believe you wasn't there at that time.
Okay.
Now the contenders right now for the AFC is Kansas City and San Diego. The contenders for the NFC is Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Come on, Mike.
They're not laughing.
Listen, that's his opinion.
They laughing at David showing Terrence the cupcake. Good.
Tim? No. I'm not showing Terrence. Tim, I already told you. I have 4 cupcakes for the rest of the season. 2 of them are already down, and 2 are ready to go. We are going to beat the Colts, and we are going to embarrass the Chargers and go into the playoffs. Do not put the Chargers as contenders.
Okay. All right, back to you, Tim. Mike shaking his head at y'all, by the way. Back to you, Tim.
As I was saying, Green Bay and Tampa Bay are going in. Now, it's going to be Kansas City versus Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
Again, rematch.
And Tampa Bay will win.
That's so not sexy.
Tim, I love you.
That's a rematch.
That's why he's around, Mark. Because Philly's going to be
honestly, I wouldn't want to see that
in the first round.
But it could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
Just so we all come to an agreement, Stevie.
First round by Philly in the first round.
I wouldn't want to see it, but it could happen.
In the second round, Philly going to end up losing to Green Bay.
Hold on, Tim. What you think?
I'm saying, so it's all a consensus. If Mike is listening, nobody else talks about the Niners but you, dog. So that's just letting you know when you're on the show, you're the only person who talk about y'all because nobody else on the panel thinks the Niners gonna win.
Yo, that dude not here tonight. Yo,
We don't
that dude that
believe
he
you. You
paid
need
for the
more
last
people.
show not here tonight.
brother.
What a
Is there
coincidence,
anybody
right?
on
What's
the
the
panel
brother
that
name at
thinks
the
the
bottom?
Niners are going to the Super Bowl?
No.
Mark,
Nope.
Mark. The Niners,
All right,
the,
let's
They'll
give
be
the
out of
brother
the
at the
first
bottom
the
of the
round.
Niners,
screen his moment.
the
First round.
Niners are going to the playoffs. The Niners are going to the playoffs. They have
Got an
no
easy
chance once
road
they
to
get
get
into the
there.
playoffs. Yes, the Niners are going to the playoffs. I'm not going to disrespect them. They're going
No,
to the
they
playoffs.
don't. But then they one and done.
When they go to the
No
playoffs,
doubt in
they
my
get
mind
punched
they
in the
one and
face. They're going to try to
All right,
punch somebody in the face and get punched in the face and get swept out.
done. I hope they
The
play
Niners are
Philly
going to the
for 'em.
playoffs, but
all right,
I
they
hope they
not built
play
to win a
we'll
Super
Philly.
hear,
Bowl.
I hope they play Philly because I already know they
we'll
can't beat
hear,
Philly.
Yeah,
we'll
the
hear
Niners is
Mike's
not built to win a Super.
response.
The Niners is not built to win a Super Bowl. They built to be a playoff team. Congratulations on
We'll
going to the
hear,
dance and
we'll
getting
hear
knocked out in
Mike's
the first
response.
round.
Now we're gonna go to the brother at the bottom of the screen. We're gonna give him his moment
Brother Ruben.
to go
What's
because
going on, Brother
he
Ruben,
is
man?
What's good, Ruben?
What's up,
Ruben.
fellas?
Man, what
I'm
y'all
sorry,
do?
I apologize about
What's
that, brother.
good?
I didn't even know he was
Hope
on
you feeling well.
screen.
Hope you feeling better, good brother. Hope you feeling better, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling better, man. Thank y'all. How was y'all Christmas, by the way?
Bless.
Not good.
Great,
Good.
great.
Good. I just wanted to say I'm a little late. I had some business to handle. I had to leave the house right
Side.
quick. Uh,
Good.
I told y'all before that the Chiefs was gonna get it together. I said that a couple of weeks ago when y'all counted the Chiefs out, and I told y'all Arizona wasn't gonna do nothing. And look what happened to Arizona.
Yeah.
So the same thing I said before. Injuries don't mean nothing in the playoffs. It's next man up. So
Yep.
you can say that injury mess if you want. Been talking about team got people out. Y'all know how football go. Next man up.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know how it go. So now the 49ers. I can't speak on the 49ers because they win one week and lose the next. I don't know which way they're going to go. So, but we definitely know them Raiders ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Them
Uh-oh.
Raiders not going nowhere. I'm not going to even embarrass nobody to even say the Raiders going somewhere. I don't see it going this year. I don't see it this year.
That's my big brother. That's my big brother disrespecting me, and
Wait,
he don't
David. Wait,
disrespect me.
let him
And look,
finish.
you
Let him
hurt
finish.
my feelings with that.
So I'm okay. AFC, I'm going to say I told y'all the Titans they gonna win ugly. They gonna be in the running. They win ugly. It's not a pretty sight to see the Titans win. It's slow and old man ball they playing. They ground and pound you, even without their big running back. They still doing what they do on defense and offense, and I told y'all that too. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, the Titans. I like the Bills. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but I like the Bills. I like the Bills. I like the Bills. They play just like the Titans. They play that smash mouth ball. So
Little
I like
faster.
them three. I like them three. Their quarterback need to be more consistent at times, but I like them. Them three in the AFC. The NFC, I like the Rams. Y'all say the Rams ain't gonna do nothing. I like the Rams. I like the Rams. Their defense is built. I'm telling you, their defense is built on every aspect. DEs, DBs, they got it all. They got it all. I want the Cowboys to go. I want them to go. They haven't shown me nothing yet, but I want them to go. It seems like it's their year. It seems like it's their year. They seem like trying to make some noise. So I'm gonna throw the Cowboys in there with the Rams. I don't like the Packers. Basically, I only got two teams in the NFC. I like the Rams and the Cowboys. I don't like the Packers. I don't like the Buccaneers, and I definitely don't like the Cardinals.
Or San Fran.
San Fran, all right. They're gonna sneak in there because I see them sneaking in there because Arizona, they ain't doing nothing. And the Buccaneers, they got some key players hurt. And the Packers, they just get to the playoffs just to get to the playoffs, don't win nothing. So
you think Arizona is snake bitten right now?
Arizona got 2 players hurt and they can't win a game. They got key players hurt and they can't win a game. If you can't win a game without your key components, you ain't going nowhere.
I mean, that ain't surprising.
Arizona too young and too old at the same time.
I get it. I get what you're saying though, because they do have some older players on the team.
Like, who the 2 key players that was hurt for Arizona?
D-Hop,
JJ Watt.
Why?
JJ Watt,
I
D-Hop.
think they running back.
D-Hop hurt?
On
No.
the offensive side.
Why? And
That's
Hop
going to affect you.
No, D-Hop
Listen, we
not
talking
hurt,
about
isn't he?
D-Hop.
Yeah, it's ACL.
Yeah, Hop's not there.
Yeah, Hop
We talking about
hurt for
D-Hop.
5 games.
He tore his ACL.
That's
Yeah,
D-Hop.
Oh, man.
That affects your
Why?
Alright, fellas.
Hop been hurt for 5 games.
Remember, Kyler Murray's
All right,
young
fellas,
too,
I'm gonna
man.
go
You
to the
need your weapons.
comments real quick. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. That was Kamisha. That wasn't Mike. She was talking on his behalf. He said we like being an underdog. So Mark, keep that same energy.
He's been an underdog every time he plays somebody. Nobody's scared of him, man. In order to have fear, in order for somebody to fear you, that means you go into the game knowing that this team is superior. Nobody on this panel goes into a San Fran game saying, "Oh, we can't beat San Fran. They devastated." Nobody cares
He
about
never
them.
lied
They got
about that one either.
the Niners
Can I
got
say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Not
always got
football
something to say.
related,
Go
not
ahead,
sports related.
He good.
Steven, thank you for doing a great on the show today.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Good
gives
job,
Steven
Stevie.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We need to fire the other cat.
Like,
I'm
yo.
just saying.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't fire my brother.
From now on, Steve. From now on,
I'm
Steve,
doing
you
Vince
get,
McMahon style.
you get the mute button, and Mike got to sit there and listen while you mute him. That's the new deal.
That's
I
right.
got a question for all y'all.
He seasoned that
Mike
dish,
like
man.
that.
Mike is seasoned that.
Don't do Mike like that.
Who got a question?
No.
I got a
No
question.
disrespect to Mike. No disrespect to Mike. This is the first show we did without Mike, and Steven just made all this happen. And this is a phenomenal show right now. Like, we're all engaged. We all get our opinions. He's shutting us up when we need to be shut up. And we just, the flow is great. Yo, good job.
I've been muted only twice. I only been muted twice, which is a record, because normally when Mike on here, I'm getting muted. I get to hear a
Mike's
show
a
or
hater.
opinion for 35 minutes. At least I ain't got to hear none of that. Thank you, Steve, for an excellent job. Mike, take your time in South Carolina and chill out.
Hey, Steve.
Go ahead, Ruben. I see you raising your hand.
Hey, coming into this next week,
Mark.
the teams that already clinched playoff spots, and it's not going to hurt them if they lose this last game. Do you think they should play their starters?
Nope.
Yes. Yes.
Rest them.
Nope.
Yes, especially Dallas. If Dallas don't play
No.
stars,
Especially
you
not
speak for
Dallas.
yourself.
week 18.
You speak
If
for
Dallas
yourself.
don't play their stars
No,
week
no,
18,
Now,
no.
Let's get some order to this.
Dallas
Let's
play
see
their
I'm gonna
why
tell
and
y'all
why not.
If not,
I'm going to tell y'all something.
Dallas and the
No.
Eagles got something going on that
Nope.
need to be investigated.
I'm
Dallas
gonna
needs to
tell
play
y'all
their
something.
stars.
Hey, David. David, you the same one that said the NFC don't work together.
Hey, Lamar.
And the
Hey,
Eagles
Lamar.
both need to play
Hey,
their
Lamar.
stars that whole game in week 18.
I will tell you,
or it's
Lamar.
a
The reason I asked that
I
question,
will say this.
series.
I wouldn't doubt if the Cowboys help you get into the playoffs. But yes,
That's what I said.
I will say this. I agree with David. Dallas let Philly leap us in the draft. They might help them. I agree with David.
The reason
Hey,
I say
listen.
that is because I've seen ass where the number one seed rest they starters and they get out the first round. That has happened a lot of
We've done it
years.
twice. 2 times the Cowboys have done that. Giants knocked us out, and I don't know if it was Philly or Washington who knocked us out the second time we did it. You learn from your mistakes. If you don't, you'll always repeat it. We will not rest our starters unless we can get Philly in the playoffs to play San Fran. Then I'll rest my starters and let Philly beat up on San
I think it was Washington.
I'll say this, man. I'll say this. I think that you do rest them, and the reason why I think that you rest them is, man, is because of COVID. I think that you find a way to get them cats, whatever, off by themselves, so they don't have to be exposed to other people. ASAP.
Hey, Chief, when
Listen,
you do that, man, you lose momentum, bro. You lose momentum, man.
listen. We take care of business this week.
Terrence, I think
We'll both be resting players.
because if you give
We'll
them,
both be resting players.
if you give them more
You
time
ain't gonna
off,
rest nobody,
they have more
Lamar.
time to go out into the environment. No,
That's true
play them
too.
week 18. Play them.
How about just play them for the first half or the first quarter to keep the continuity going?
I think that you can do that.
You're
Yeah, and
coming to my
that's what I should
stadium.
have said. That's what I should have said. You're right.
You're coming to my stadium every day. You're not gonna have no plans to take off week 17 or 18. Come here and get tested, so I know what I have to deal with if I'm not one or two seeds that get a bye. No, come here every day.
I just think that during this holiday season, and I think that with these numbers and stuff spiking up, man, it can turn this whole thing around to where a team that's not that good ends up being very good because they got all of their pieces.
It depends on that whole COVID situation, man.
Terrence,
I just think that situation. I'm sorry. I think that situation, especially with us, because we had a lot of players on COVID all year. Y'all know this, whether y'all want to agree with it or not. Cowboys been having players on COVID literally damn near every game. But when it comes to sitting, even if I have a bye, man, only time I would sit them literally, I don't even want to sit them against Philly the last game. But if I know going into the season, going into the postseason, it's gonna make me a little bit healthier. I'd rather just play him, man. I'll play Dak for like 3 quarters, 4.5 quarters, and then let Cooper Rush come in the second half, and the Philly take it, let them take it. I can care less.
Yeah.
But I'm not sitting my starters.
This is not the year. This is not the year to sit players, because when you sit them, they go home. They bring their family in, and then coach.
Yeah. So
you got
can
stuck,
do
David.
like
Where you at?
a playoff game. You can do like a preseason game and let them play
no COVID
half the game and then sit them the rest.
Until we went to Cleveland, and now we're man down, and that's not an excuse. I don't make excuses for winning or losing, but play.
Yeah, man. Especially this year, like you said, David, given COVID, man, you need to get every snap out you can, man, while you can do it. Because if you don't, you can go into the next week and be good, and the next day going to the next week have about 3 of your key players out, and then you took a week off, so you got a week off. 3 of your key players out going into the next week. Now you trying to fumble around with your roster to fill those holes. I don't think this is the year. Any other year, T, I believe you're right. But this year in particular, nah, man. Nah, it's too much going on, bro.
Play.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Mike. If you're listening, you'll be home after the first week of postseason. Don't worry about
He
it.
ain't even gonna make it in the postseason. Don't worry about it. He ain't gonna make it in the postseason.
Who, me?
Me and Lamar are gonna send you home. NFC team send you home. That's what I want. As long as you go home from an NFC
I'm going to
team,
February 13th. You might be talking about everybody else. I'm going to February 13th.
because I didn't get a chance to give my prediction on who contenders and who pretenders.
You're absolutely right, Kate.
I got in the AFC. I got Kansas City. I've been saying Kansas City all year. I got Kansas City, Buffalo. Everybody knows Steve like this. So I like Buffalo and Kansas City. I don't see it happening, but I would love for the Raiders to do it because we get Virginia. But I want Denver to make it. I don't know why Terrence don't. I get it why Terrence don't want them to make it, but I do want Denver to make it. But overall, I got Kansas City and Buffalo at being between them two. In the NFC, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, but I would never count Aaron Rodgers out because he's Aaron Rodgers.
Don't do it.
And to keep it 100, I'm like Lamar. I always keep it 100. I hate them. But I think that this Dallas Cowboy team might be a real Dallas Cowboy. So I got them as contenders. I think Philly can surprise teams, but I don't see them going past the second round. I don't
Hey,
even
Stevie,
really
can I ask
make
you a question,
playoffs.
Stevie? Hey, can I ask you guys a question? And this is actually going towards Lamar. And I want to just asking y'all opinion. Depending on the matchup, I think Philly can go pretty far. It depends on the matchup. I like Philly grit, and that's what I like the most about Philly. I hate you. Don't get me wrong. I can't stand Philly. Be talking good about me. Don't get it twisted. Like I like y'all. I like the grit in Philly. I like the fact that Philly could be road tested and go on the road and play the same type of football that they do at home. And that's what a lot of teams can't do. Like San Fran ain't the type of team that can play San Fran ball at home and then bring it down to Philadelphia and play that same type of ball. They just not built that way. Like the Raiders, and there's no disrespect to you either, David. Y'all don't play the same type of ball away as y'all do at home. Even us, I'm gonna keep it 100. Even the Cowboys, we play a different type of football at home opposed to on the road. So I think a lot of it got to do with now. Note, and saying that since everybody's been keeping it 100, I'm gonna keep it dead 100. That hasn't always worked out in our favor. Home field advantage. Sometimes I prefer us going on the road because we ain't got 100,000 in the stands. You know, we actually have to play our tails off to get that V off. So I just think a lot of the matchups is going to depend on who goes further. Because if you guys are sleeping on the Bengals and you're sleeping on Colts, you're sleeping on Buffalo, let a playoff game go to Buffalo and it's freezing outside. Let a playoff game go to Cincinnati and it's freezing outside. It's a big. Let the Colts get a playoff game under that dome. It's a difference, man. I'm telling you.
Right.
Cincinnati will find a way to lose in the playoffs.
I just think they're red hot right now. So right now, as long as you red hot and your offense clicking, it makes you tough opponent to beat, man. Homeboy just threw up 500 yards last week. I don't care who it's against.
He a rookie though, so when he get to them playoffs,
Joe Burrow.
Well, technically,
Second year.
I get that, and I respect that. I just think if you know you got three good receivers and they got three good receivers, they do have a quality running back and a backup quality running back and a decent defense to solid, especially D line to the linebackers. So they ain't gonna be no pushovers, man. They ain't gonna be no pushovers.
So
I just have it down.
So Timmy is the only one that picked the defending Super Bowl champions to be in there. Body say, except for me, Tom Brady. How come no one picking Tampa? Let me hear from y'all.
Because they ain't getting 7 rings. You ain't getting no 7 rings.
But they not.
They had too many players out.
They got a lot of players. They got some key components.
Too many
on both sides of the ball.
Too many.
got a lot of injuries.
Listen,
That's why
I mean, it's a lot of out.
that's why
And that's why Antonio Brown.
and they got an old team.
I would say this too. The two teams that most people are picking, I don't think Tampa Bay matches up well against. I think Green Bay beats Tampa Bay, and I definitely believe Dallas would beat Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah,
They're
beat 'em at
loaded. I don't think Tampa Bay want to see
But Tampa beat Dallas the first game of the season.
Dallas could have won that
But
game.
Tampa beat
They
Dallas
barely
the first
beat
game.
us.
Dallas could have won that game.
They barely beat us. Stop acting like
Dallas-
they blew us out. They ain't blow nobody out.
Dallas-
They barely beat us.
No, who
Dallas-
No. I'm not saying that, Mark. I'm not saying that.
Dallas-
I'm just saying they did.
No,
Dallas
of course, yeah.
should have won that game, and now Tampa Bay, regardless of home field advantage, has to go into that game without no Godwin, with a Evans. Dallas might blow
Fournette's
them out.
out.
Dallas might beat them 41-7.
Yo, and this is real, David.
41-7. Like,
I don't think anybody's looking at the
Dallas
fact
not
that
worried about Tampa Bay. The only team,
I don't
the
think
only
y'all
team
mentioned
Dallas
in the
is
big
worried about in
thing
the
for Tampa
playoffs is Green Bay.
What about Fournette?
Fournette's not
Y'all
a
not
top
mentioning
flight
ACL.
running back.
Fournette to me.
Yeah, you're right. He's out.
Dallas stops
He's
the
out.
run.
Huh?
We like
Dallas
Fournette. We
stopped
like
the run.
big backs. We don't like them little backs.
Like,
We don't like those
And
Miles
that's
Sanders
Fournette is
type
out.
backs.
like,
Fournette is out, gentlemen. He's hurt.
we had common sense because
Fournette
we knew
is
we
injured
couldn't
is
run
what
against
I'm saying.
Dallas, so we just threw the ball. Steven,
Common
we had
sense.
common sense against Dallas. Had we came out there with Jacobs and Drake and just let it through, we would have got blown out. We just said, fling it,
No, but I'm
fling
saying
it.
Fournette is
So
injured.
Yes, he's hurt. He has his ACL or MCL. I think it's torn.
Yeah, that's their
yeah,
offense.
Dallas is not Tampa Bay. Green
Because what I
Bay
Yeah,
is
they're
not
not
worried about
giving
Tampa
Brady.
Bay.
They're not giving Brady 7 rings. Got to put him in some red company.
Brady can't throw
Nobody else has.
20
I
yards
told you.
anyway. That's what I'm telling you.
No way.
Brady makes
No.
their offensive line. Their offensive line don't make Brady.
Hey,
I don't know that. I
you
don't know that, Dave. That's not good. That's not a good one right there, Dave. No, sir.
No, I'm telling you the truth. Brady
Nah,
makes
ain't
the
no-
offensive
Brady
Brady
lives in
line,
those
the
passes, man.
he
And
made the
underneath, that's where
offense.
Brady lives.
Listen.
You can't say that the O line makes the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback makes the O line. That ain't a true assessment.
Listen.
Brady
I'm
gets
making-
rid of the ball. Brady gets rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds or less, regardless of Patriots or Tampa Bay. He makes life
Brady
simple
likes
for
to get rid of
offensive
the ball
line.
on the
And
3
trust
step
me,
drop.
I know.
He has a hold of the job. He gets
And I know because I watched Trent Brown with the Patriots, and I watched Trent Brown with the Raiders. There's a big difference between Brady making you good and you not making Carr good. No. Brady makes the offensive lineman. Accidentally start him.
All right, fellas.
I
great
think
show
this
tonight.
another.
Y'all can watch
Oh, this is done. We
participate.
yo, let's solo get it in real quick.
Oh no, I was gonna say.
I
I
didn't
was
hear
just gonna
you.
say one more thing. That is it. Green Bay having home field advantage is dangerous, man.
Yeah,
You gotta watch that, man.
But
Yeah.
Aaron
They
Rodgers
get home
has
field
checked
advantage.
yeah.
That's a problem.
What it is
He'll be in
like
uniform
a
next year,
dog
baby.
fight. You prepare for a dog fight. Don't go to Green Bay. Dog.
I think
Tell you,
y'all
Cowboys
good,
been
though.
there
this
3
man. Y'all
times,
was
bro.
excellent
Dog
tonight.
fight.
Y'all was on point.
Oh, Steve
Y'all
ending the
do
show,
y'all-
man.
Any final words? Terrence, any final words?
I'd like to say, man, two things real quick. I ain't gonna take up much time. I appreciate you fellas for the support for my wife and our companies, the things that we have. Appreciate you, gentlemen. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys support what you guys got going on as well, please reach out, tag me, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to assist you guys, or whatever. So I appreciate that. Appreciate the camaraderie, and you guys have a blessed New Year, man, and hopefully 2022 is even a better year than 2021. I know we've all had some great years, whatever. I've had some as well, and hopefully 2022 is even better. God bless you guys.
For
Yeah,
real.
man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Any
that.
final
Amen. Just you guys know,
any final
it's the
words?
first show I ever did with
Well, just stay right there.
Who's it for?
You, Tim.
Oh, okay. We just had a great show, and we believe that there will be more to come about football, basketball, and we just had to keep like share the message to the people that want to hear about us. And
Appreciate you, bro.
whoever will to listen, they can chime in.
Appreciate
All we
you.
have to do is just keep
Mark,
spreading the
any
word.
final words?
That's all I can say.
Appreciate you, Tim.
I got one thing
Go
to
ahead,
say
Mark.
about basketball.
Yo,
The Nets
Hold,
lost
hold
tonight.
on a second. I'm gonna get to you, bro. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get to you, bro. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you guys, it's the first show I did with COVID. I've been having COVID for the last 4 days, man. And that's how I made it through today. So I feel good because you guys picked me up because I've been feeling real crappy the last couple of days. So I really appreciate all of y'all. You know what I mean?
Word.
You know, for my boy Cello, you know I love you, dog. So don't ever allow our memes to ever get
Nah.
worse. Because as soon as I hit you
No.
up, I hit David up to let him know I was doing the mind Jedi trick on you. Because there wasn't no way I was looking at the show after dropping 50. But yo, man, I
But
think
I appreciate you,
this
bro.
year
I
was great.
appreciate
I
you
think
doing
the
what
show was great. And I hope that next year we can continue with this build on the momentum, guys. Excellent show.
Over here.
Real.
Excellent commentary. Mick, we wish you were here. I'm glad you're not here because we didn't want to see no ugly pups and
that.
no corny mutant and hearing your San Fran because you the one who really waving that flag. But we miss you too, dog.
We wish you a speedy recovery, Mark, man, and we thank you
Yeah,
for
for
that, bro.
real.
Absolutely.
Brother West,
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Mr. West, my brother.
Likewise, I was in the same boat too as well, Mark, dealing with COVID this week. So I'm glad I was able to be on the show tonight. Just it's fun to just be around real brethren that know the game, and we go on each team and and we really uh drop the facts and the knowledge about we know about the sport, and it's just really really fun. So keep it up, and Steve, good job tonight. I appreciate you,
Yep.
my brother,
Appreciate
and
you,
all of
bro.
you who joined us on the panel. Well,
Appreciate you.
Oh,
My
and
brother
Dominic
David,
Christie, you can come on whenever you want, brother.
this is true.
Right.
Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, I always say this. Thanks for having me on. First and foremost, Happy New Year to everybody on this channel, everybody that's watching,
That's right.
everybody that's going to 2022. Our plan is great success.
Amen.
Thank you, Stephen, for making this happen and being a great narrator for the show. Like, yo, what you did tonight should not go unnoticed. Like real talk. Thanks for carrying on this show and making sure it happens. So each and every one of y'all, I love all y'all teams, but I'm gonna get the Super Bowl on February 13th. I'm sorry. I'm getting the Super Bowl on February 13th. Love y'all. We end the new year, even though it's gonna be tomorrow at this time. thank y'all for the opportunity, and we just keep on moving and moving and moving.
Amen.
What's up?
Appreciate it, Dave.
Yeah,
Cello.
man. Awesome substituting. You know what I'm saying? Steve, you did an awesome job. This was an awesome show. You got me, Lamar, and Mark, and Tim to get together and be like, nah, you ain't gonna talk about the NFC East like that.
Yep.
We the best. You know what I'm saying? It happened on your time. It happened on your time, brother. So shout out to you on that. Nah, but Press, you know, we appreciate you too, Press. We
That's a
We
fact.
love you, man.
I
We
appreciate
do.
everybody on the show. I enjoy
Yes.
everyone on the show. Mark, you already know it's all love, bro.
Yes, it
Everything
is.
that we do in the chat, that's a part of this, man. And listen, it's always love. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. Let's keep it going, brother. Let's keep it going, bro. And it's
Yeah,
all love
man.
always. Just
That's
know
right.
that too, Mark. I
That's what's
love it,
up, baby.
man. I love it. So, but yeah, definitely appreciate y'all all, man. Happy New Year to y'all. Please stay safe, definitely. I thank God, you know, you Lamar. I thank God, Mark, that y'all made it through with it. Thank
Amen.
God for that. And just please stay safe and let's keep this going, man. We need
Yep.
this, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
need
Yep.
this. They're already
Yes,
shutting
sir.
down, going back to virtual, all that stuff starting to happen again. Let's keep this going, fam.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
a
Appreciate you.
fact.
Appreciate you.
Mhm.
Brother Ruben.
Oh yeah, thank y'all for having me, man. Hey, I like doing this. Unfortunately, I'm sick, man. That flu, I don't know what that new strand of flu is, but it ain't nothing to play with.
Man.
Mm.
It ain't nothing
It's
to play
called
with.
stuff.
Thank God you good, man.
Ooh, it ain't nothing to play with, brothers. I'm telling you. I'm glad to see everybody still here, regardless of COVID, flu, whatever. We still keeping it real, kicking it on here, having fun. And I like doing this. A man turned me on, and I like it, man. Because a lot of brothers
Amen.
I talk to, they just talk. They don't even talk football like it is.
Mm-hmm.
They put their feelings in it. You know what I'm saying? They don't put no
Right.
facts, just facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, here you put
Feelings.
feelings,
Okay.
facts. People call you on your mess. Hey, that's how we talk football as men. With no arguing, no fighting. Everything is brotherly love, and I love that.
Yep.
It's all love here, man.
Right. That's right. Well, man, I
I want to
appreciate
say,
each and every last one of y'all, man. Y'all made it an excellent show for me tonight. I really enjoyed y'all, man. Y'all was on point. Y'all knew y'all stuff as always. I really do appreciate y'all. I appreciate Mike. I love that brother, man. In his absence, man, I can't wait for him to be back. When he come back in time for, that's right. If you look at the screen, you should see it. Clash of the Fanatics, Giants edition. Cello, Tim, myself, Clash of the Fanatics. I thank y'all
We
all tonight, man. Like I said, on point. Excellent. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking it easy on me on my first time ever narrating, man. Appreciate y'all. God bless.
awesome job. God
God bless,
bless y'all,
Excellent.
fellas.
fam.
Great
Be safe, fam.
show, Steven. Give Steven, yo,
Excellent job.
Sharon.
Excellent
yo,
job,
great
Steve.
show,
Appreciate y'all.
Steven.
Mike,
Peace
you
out.
can
Love
come
Really
back
y'all.
when y'all
appreciate
get
it.
knocked out the playoffs. Come back the week you about to get knocked out. Please,
Love y'all.
please
I'm
come
going to
back.
just share one
Love
comment
y'all,
from the
fam. God bless,
chat
fam.
real quick. Before we go, Mike, clap hands before we go, and I'm going to end it like that. He said, great show.
God bless, Mike.
Yeah, man. God
God
bless,
bless.
man. Get home
Appreciate
Salute
safe,
y'all,
you,
man.
man.
brother.
Be good.
All right, Mikey.
All right, guys. I
All
love
right.
you, man.
All
All right,
right,
Love you
brother.
brother. All
too.
right, Mark, get well. Ruben,
All right,
get well.
fellas.
Lamar, get well. I love y'all, brothers. Take care of yourselves.
All
All
right.
right.
All
Y'all be
right.
nice now.